Hello and welcome to 5 ways to ensure that your ideal client hires you and not your competition. I'm your host Jennifer Trask, and I'm really excited to make this video for a couple of reasons. The first, obviously, to help give you the edge so that you can get the ideal clients that you really want to work with. But the next reason is because, the coaching industry has really grown by leaps and bounds in the last few years. And I know that a lot of coaches get a little icky because there's more competition. But I want to tell you that, first of all, competition is healthy because it makes you stay on your toes and on your game and making sure you're always delivering your best. And second of all, I kind of don't really believe in competition because it's an energetic thing, right? Those who are meant to work with you are going to work with you. So these 5 tips, although practical, are going to help you put your best self forward and give you that upper edge on yourself, really, to make sure that your clients see the best and see what they can get with you. So with that, let's get into number 1. So the first one is you really need to honor people and their time and listen to them. And my recommendation is to do a 60-minute discovery call. We call them some people call them discovery calls, prospecting calls. I like discovery call. It's a nice name. And the reason why you want to do 60 minutes is because, especially if you're probably charging packages, which if you're a minimum of $750 or more, especially once you're in the $1, $2, $3, $4, $5, $6,000+ coaching packages, you can't really do that much in especially 15 minutes or 30 minutes. But what I find is an hour is enough time to really find good connection points, let the prospect tell their story, you get a chance to tell a story, you get a chance to do some coaching, and they really get to have the full experience. So this is part of that. You really want to use this time to ensure that your prospect gets the chance to truly tell you their story, where they're coming from, what their pain points are, where they really want to go, why, how committed they are. And then you want to be able to have a chance to also coach them on that call, because what I have found is, if people are going to be investing large amounts of money with you, they're gonna increase the chances if they try before they buy, right? So it's kind of the whole, if you're out at in the mall and you smell cookies and they have the bite-sized ones and you take a bite, now you want a whole cookie. It's that kind of same thing. So if your calls are long enough, then you have the opportunity to actually help them on that call, and then they get the experience of what it's going to be like to be working with you. Now that becomes a win-win for everybody, because number 1, you're helping another person, and number 2, they can say yeah, this is exactly what I want. Or the opposite could happen, because it's going to save you from working with a client who's not your match. And you don't really want that. Clients who are not your matches are not fun. The money is not worth it. I can tell you that from experience. It really isn't. Now, it's not going to work out 100% of the time, meaning sometimes you're going to work with people and they're not going to be a match, and you're only going to find that once you're, in it. But what one of my goals is to do all that I can in the beginning process before somebody becomes a client to make sure that we are a match. So this is one of them. The first one is make sure you have at least 60-minute consultation calls, discovery calls, and coach them on that call, and make sure they talk for 80% of that call. Let them do all the talking, okay? The second thing that you can do, and I think this is so critical, is be super honest with them about what they can expect, about what you do, about what you don't do, and the outline of where it is you're going to go in this time that you are together. And even if you're in work that is not super detailed, meaning it's a little elusive, you can't promise you're going to get to A, B, or C. Even in business coaching, you can't always promise to take someone from A to B, because there are so many factors that determine the speed at which you go, most of which are not in the coach's control. So you've got to be honest about that. And one thing that has really helped me, and I've had numerous, so many people tell me this, They said, I really appreciated how clear you were about, what's going to happen and what I can expect and all that. People really love this because it's honest and it's authentic, and nobody knows everything. You can't help them with everything. I can't help people with everything. No one's perfect. But when you're really clear what you're really good at and what you're not so good at and what they should go to other people for, that's very, very powerful. People appreciate honesty, and it's really going to give you the upper hand. The third thing that you can do in order to get people to hire you is use case studies in your call with them. So if they say something and you have a client who went through something similar, tell them and say, I had a client, they went through the same thing, here's what happened, we were able to do this, and now they are wherever they are. This is very, very powerful because, first of all, it tells your prospect that you already know how to deal with this program, and you have like real life experience with it, and you've already helped a specific person with it. That is super powerful. And it shows that, of course, you're going to be confident, you're going to be able to do the work. So that's pretty amazing. If you don't have a client who's been through what your prospective one has been, and or you don't even have any clients yet, well, use your own life experience, or if you've even helped a family or friend, a friend or family member, and like meaning like you might have helped them directly, they weren't paid coaching clients, you can tell them that. Just make sure you're very honest. Say, one of my best friends had this problem too, and so I worked with her, and this is what we did. That's also very, very powerful. So using case studies whenever you can is really good because it really gives that the prospect the extra vote of confidence in you that you are capable of helping them with what it is they want help with. The fourth thing that you can do is to not use these high pressure, false scarcity tactics. Anytime that you are lying, even if it's a small lie, it is a lie, which means it isn't inauthentic. So pretending that you have, only 2 spots left and you actually have 10 or things like this, don't do that. And it's not, you won't feel aligned, you won't feel authentic, and it just, it doesn't work. What you can do is, make sure you follow up. So if someone doesn't sign up right away, ask them when you would like to follow up. Is it tomorrow? Is it in a week? Is it in 3 days? And make sure you follow up with them accordingly. And ultimately, if you've done a good job on the actual sales call and this person is ready, they're not going to need any of these scarcity tactics or false things or anyways, because they're going to be ready to sign up with you. And sometimes too, I've had people say, you know what, okay, I really want to do this. I need to do it at X time, which might be in like 2 weeks or a month and a half, because of whatever they say. And they really do come back, and obviously it's up to you too to make sure you check in and follow up appropriately. But you can't push people. Don't push people, because then it just creates a whole atmosphere of ickiness and buyer's remorse for the other person. If the timing isn't right for them, you need to honor that. Which leads me into our last point, our fifth point, which is be willing to say no when it is not right. And I think that this really sums up the whole thing, because it's the concept of you need to stand firm in who you are, and what you offer, and trust and know that no one client is going to make or break your business, because they won't, and that you are going to get the people who are going to be best for you. I think this is super powerful, and it helps you come from a place of abundance, not scarcity. So that right there puts you in the driver's seat when you're with it, because if the other person, you can smell neediness off people. It's a horrible thing. You don't want to be needy. And if you are willing to take anyone, or you're trying to massage it, or you're using false scarcity tactics, whatever it is, none of it's really going to work, because the other person, even if they don't know what's wrong, they're going to feel that something's wrong. You know what I mean? So don't do that. So be willing to say no when it's not right. And if you're willing to say no when it's not right, then you're going to close more sales, because first of all, before you ever get on a call with anyone, you're going to attract more people who are ready for you, because you're so in alignment and you're so trusting in the universe sending you what you need. So that's it. That's my 5 tips. And now I would love to hear from you. Do you have any tips that you would like to share that helps you ensure that you get a client and it doesn't go to your competition? And have any of these helped you? I would love to hear your feedback in the comments on the blog. So thanks so much for being here, and we'll see you next time.